Hello and welcome back to the Chatter Cave podcast, where we, discuss media, usually in the form of a single discussion on a topic, or just random ass topics if we can't think of like a single topic that deserves a good 30+ minute talk about. So yeah, we talk media. I'm your host, Tom Hughes. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Zenny F _ aka Connor O'Shea.
Bonjour, ça va bien?
My mic's like really floppy. It's like my dick.
Why is it sit down?
I don't know. I need a new crane arm. It's like this crane arm has literally been with me since I started this YouTube channel. It's like 3 years old. This crane arm is. It's like a
MacGyver.
it's like a really I am like basically the MacGyver of our shift. Anything I can MacGyver. I mean that fucking box I set my Steam Deck back in. That was a fucking MacGyver ass box. But yeah, so yeah, obviously we're just gonna talk random ass topics again today because I can't really think of a single thing that I could spam out for a good 30+ minute talk. So just random news articles and just random stuff we're getting up to recently. Simple as that. And I have like a fuck ton, and Connor has 2.
Yeah, I don't have any news. No big news.
Well, I'll start off with some interesting news. I literally saw this right before recording. I was seeing that new Lord of the Rings Gollum game.
Yeah, don't look dreadful.
Yeah, obviously that's due out this week. The entire game only got leaked on YouTube today.
Well, I've from beginning to end.
Yep. Apparently it got leaked on YouTube today. Apparently it's due out Thursday. Obviously the day before this podcast goes out. But apparently the entire game got leaked on YouTube. Apparently. I haven't seen anything on it. I haven't seen anything on it. But I read it like literally early and I was like, oh, that's some juicy news to talk about. I say it is a game that looks a bit, it's just like, why?
I'm gonna search it.
And have a little Google of it, Mr. Connor. And say it's a game that's like, I mean, the only good real Lord of the Rings games recently was the Shadow of War games, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're the best ones, and then obviously Lego wasn't too bad.
Yeah, the Lego ones are pretty decent.
Can't find the full. I put Lord of the Rings got on full game. Nothing comes of it. It's just like a 20-minute teaser.
I'm guessing maybe it's been took down. I'd assume maybe at this point they fucking got YouTube to spank them on the arse and be like, "Oi, take it down."
It looks so boring. It's just you got them creeping around. It's like
instead of all the sort of characters you could do like a full length game on. It's just like, let's do the one on the guy that literally goes, "Precious, precious, here's the ring." Just like, literally, of all the characters, you could literally probably do like a badass game about the main character, Aragorn. Like, you could probably like a badass game on him, or like something like Legolas, obviously an Archer type game. Or like Gimli is with like massive like dwarf armies or something like that. And it's just like, no, let's get this like guy who's mainly just used for stealth and just have him just crawl around and be like, precious, 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 precious.
It just looks so. Even the graphics don't look amazing.
And say for like a 2023 game, it looks fucking like outdated.
And the fact that it's been in development for ages.
Exactly. It's just, I definitely won't touch it unless it's like
Just don't play it. It looks so bad.
Unless it comes out to really good reviews and I get it dirt cheap, then I might pick it up. But other than that, I ain't touching it.
Yeah, I don't see you getting good reviews.
What do you reckon? What's your prediction right now? What's the score out of let's get Metacritic 100? What's your score?
65, 70.
You think it's gonna be that high?
I don't know what he's gonna do wrong. He's not doing anything amazing. It's just a stealth game with him walking around. Like, I don't understand how
you think it's gonna be that high of a score? You think it's that's basically?
I think he's gonna get mid, but I think he's only gonna get that high because of Lord of the Rings franchise.
Okay. My prediction is
20.
45.
What did they give Redfall?
I can't remember. Have a little Google Maestro.
They gave it 56.
Does this look better than Redfall?
And that's dog shit. At least this game might if this game actually works, it will get higher than 56.
Do you reckon? anywhere between 45 and 60, I reckon. Like anything below 60.
I don't think it'd be any higher than that shit.
But yeah. Any? I'll let you have one of your news ones since you've only got two. I'll let you have one.
Oh, I want them at once. Apparently, Blizzard got fined €5,000 because they didn't specify that Diablo Immortal was going to have loot boxes in the game. So a game that they made millions off got fined €5,000. That's nothing. That's like the
Just because they didn't
stupidest thing.
specify there was loot
Basically,
boxes.
before when they did like the PEGI rating, obviously you meant to
Yeah.
specify like gambling stuff. They didn't specify it was in there. So obviously it got the rating before they'd done everything. So when it came out, they got fined like $5,000. Well, €5,000, and that was it. That was literally all they got fined.
What's that convert to in pounds?
Probably like 4,700, something like
that. €5,000. It comes out to £4,349.47.
Okay, that's nowhere near close enough. But yeah, that's fucking dreadful. The fact that I swear I heard the other day they made I think it was making like when Diablo first came out, they was making 90 million plus a day or something ridiculous from the game for like the first like 2 months. That's fucking crazy.
I mean, it's nothing, is it really? Like just over $4,000.
It's like a slap on the wrist, man. It's ridiculous.
So it's like, oh no, I just murdered someone. All right, son, don't do it again. Okay, what else have I got here? I saw one. Obviously, I was this morning at work. And obviously, I was on break. That they dropped the final trailer for the new Flash movie. It looks alright. It looks decent. There's a couple of VFX shots in the trailers recently that I've been looking at and been going, it's not the greatest looking VFX. Like some like specifically shots of characters' heads or the suits they're wearing. So in the last trailer, there's like there's quite a few shots like it jumped between like characters' faces, and it showed like Ben Affleck's Batman mask, and it just looked like really janky for some reason. Like the special effects on it looked a bit off, even though obviously it's an actual practical suit. I'm guessing for the shot it was used digitally, but it just looks a bit off. And then in this trailer, like the Flash's new suit he's got, there's a shot when he's sort of standing there yelling at something, and it just looks a bit iffy. But then again, that's the thing with a lot of these like big budget Hollywood movies. They can get every bit right, but there's always usually at least like one or two bits of CGI that you can look at and be like, you could have improved that a little bit. I mean, look at Avengers, for example, like Infinity War. Specifically the shot of obviously, me and Hayden always bring it up when talking about it, is obviously the Hulk in the Hulkbuster, Bruce in the Hulkbuster armor.
Oh yeah,
his head's kind of like not there that great. Like that's what you can look at. Is something like that. It's like that's a big, massive production. Like everything else is spot on about it. It's just that one shot. But as I say, most these sort of big money making movies, that's what they have. There's usually about one or two shots that you look at it and be like, I'll let it slide, but oh, that was a bit dicey a shot. But yeah, other than that, it looks a decent trailer. Obviously, it showed off Michael Keaton's Batman a bit. Obviously, it showed off Ben Affleck's Batman quite a bit more. Obviously, it showed you that Alfred's in the movie for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Jeremy Irons is back as Alfred. And he showed obviously a few like little action shots and whatnot. And I say it looks alright. Roll on obviously next month when it comes out, and we'll see actually how good it is. Since obviously a lot of people are hyping it up as like, oh my god. I mean, well, he has to because it's his company. Obviously, James Gunn hyped it up as like one of the best superhero films he's ever seen. Obviously, Tom Cruise apparently was like, I need to see this movie, and basically got contacted one of them, was like, yeah, bring this movie to me, and watched it. Stephen King has praised it apparently. He got to see it in an early screening. So obviously, the director of this Flash film did the It Chapter 1 and 2. So obviously Stephen King watched it and was like, I don't usually like superhero movies, but this one is great. And I've seen quite a few other well-known people and a lot of other people in general that are linked to sort of DC and that, or not even linked to DC, have seen it and been like, yeah, it's great. So fingers crossed it is actually great, and people haven't just hyped it up and it's like a pile of shit. That's the thing. That's the only problem with these type of films. The hype. If it's hyped up to hell and you actually watch it, you're disappointed. It's like, what did they see that I just
yeah, all these expectations, and it's just like,
that's what I mean. Like the hype for example, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was like really fucking high, especially after No Way Home. The hype for this movie was unreal. The fact that it could be like it could be a lot of horror aspects in it. The fact that there could be like, so many cameos. The fact that Sam Raimi's back doing it, and it's just like the hype for that film was real. And it's just like, yeah, it wasn't bad, but it was nowhere near where it should have been. Like, you know what I mean? It'd be like if Avatar 2 came out after all these years, like what? It's like 1921, 13 years after the last one came out. If that came out, obviously there's a lot of hype behind it because it's the second one. The first one did really well. It was the hype of it's been that long, it needs to be good. If that came out and was bad, like after all the hype for it, it would have been like, what the fuck? But thankfully it wasn't. It was thankfully a decent movie. And it's coming out on Disney Plus the 7th of June, I think it is. And then you can buy it physically at the end of June. So no, you can buy it digitally now. It's been available for like the last like 2 months, I think it is. Obviously, Disney Plus gets it at the start of next month, and then DVD, Blu-ray, 4K get it at the end of the month. Very end of the month. I'm debating if to pick it up though. So I got the first one DVD. I'm debating if to pick this one up on 4K Steelbook. The Steelbook looks nice.
It's one of them. Like, if you're done watching in 4K, it's like pointless. Like
the Steelbook of it looks fucking nice. Like I've seen a lot of Steelbooks recently that I've looked at and been like, no, I'm just getting the normal 4K. It's a shit Steelbook. But this Steelbook actually looks pretty nice. It's like all of them like flying on the fucking. I can't think of the actual creatures because none of the fucking ones that fly around on.
Yeah, like pterodactyl looking.
Yeah, it's them flying on that, and obviously when you open it up on the inside, it's the whale creature jumping up. I was like, that looks pretty sick. To be fair, that's a decent Steelbook. I might actually pick that one up. But yeah, it's just like if that film came out and he was dog shit, then you'd be just like, what the fuck? The hype for that film was unreal. Like especially towards the film's release, like before the film came, like the year or so before the film was due out, the hype wasn't really there. No one really talks about it. But when like it got close, the hype was like, oh, it's building up. And then if it came out and it was bad, everyone would be like, what the fuck? But yeah. What else have I got here? Obviously, Fast X came out last week and I saw it, and it was not as bad as Fast 9. I'll easily put it that way. And from its opening weekend, like up till now at least, obviously it could go up by the time this podcast goes out, but at the moment it's got just under $350 million to its name, which places it in 7th in the top 10. Apparently they've got to make something like $850 million to even make a profit. Apparently. They're like, okay, Avatar, when they're basically like, oh, he's got to make like something like stupid, like $1 billion or $2 billion to make a profit, the new one.
Yeah.
Basically, apparently, this is going to make almost $1 billion just to make a profit. I think it will. I mean, from its first weekend, 350, put it straight into 7th. That's not bad, to be fair. Like, a lot of films recently have been open, like, normal films have been open to less than that. The only ones that really open to that is, like, your big, your Marvel films and, like, stuff like that. And Mario. They're the only ones that really reached that instantly. I know Mario's still at number 1. I think it's going to take a lot to beat that. I mean,
it's a kids film, and so all the kids are going to watch it, and all the adults who like want to be kids are watching it. Like,
so it's at like 1.2 billion at the moment, Alice.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like, it's going to take a lot to beat that. I mean, fucking Top Gun Maverick spent ages at the top. It took literally Avatar coming out to fucking dethrone that. And realistically, the only film I can see coming out that has a chance just because of the hype behind it is The Flash. That is the only film realistically I see. Maybe Fast X if it keeps up this sort of momentum going forward, but with all these films coming out, I can't see it. I mean, literally, Little Mermaid comes out this week, so that's going to take some viewership.
CG in that looks so bad.
I got some more news on that film in a moment, but yeah, it's going to take a lot to knock that off the top spot. As I say, Top Gun came out last year. I think it was May time, and it literally took till December before it got knocked off. And realistically, the only one that's anywhere sort of near 1.2 billion, and even that is nowhere near the billion market, is Guardians 3, which currently sits at the 3rd position with $664 million. There's some like Chinese film just above that, but it's not heavily above it. So literally, Guardians will probably knock that down a peg in a bit. So literally, the only thing in the next so long that has probably a chance is Flash. If Fast X doesn't do it, it'd be Flash. But even then,
Flash actually do it?
I don't know. It depends, because I say there's a lot of controversy with the lead star in it. So there's a lot of controversy surrounding that. But could this hype bring people in? Is the question. People hearing all these celebrities, all these big names being like, "Watch it, it's good." Could that bring in the money? Is the question. Because I mean, especially like people that aren't related to the project, i.e., Tom Cruise. People are hearing stuff like that and being like, "Oh, okay, I need to check that out." Like that's the question. Is it could it do that? But I say that's the thing with Mario. It was able to do it because it was accessible to a wider audience, i.e., kids. Whereas a lot of these films now are 12A's plus, so they have the difficult task of they don't technically lose that market of kids. It's just if parents let those kids watch it, if you know what I mean. Like for example, the new Guardians film. It's quite dark for kids, realistically. There's a lot of animal like abuse in that film. So it's just like that's not really kids accessible. Like, I think I'd rather take my kids to Mario.
Well, yeah.
So yes, that's the one thing that has a bonus, and it's still out technically in some cinemas now. So technically, it's still getting that bit of money here and there. But
Rolling in a little bit.
You know, when it comes to Flash coming out, we'll see by that point. I feel like it depends on how it does in its opening weekend. I feel like if it does, like what Fast and Furious X has done here, got like 350 plus, I feel like it might have a chance. But I say it's kind of packaged in a weird, like the next like month, as I said to you last week, like the next month or so in films is literally that every other week, like near enough every week, sorry, is a film. As I say, Fast X last week, Mermaid this week, next week Spider-Verse, week after that Transformers, week after that Flash, near enough the week after that Indiana Jones, week after that Mission Impossible. Go on. Like it's like everything's jam packed, so it's going to be difficult for anything really to get a lot of money. Whereas obviously when Mario came out, if you think about it, it came out after a lot of these movies, big movies have come out. It's like Dungeons and Dragons, Creed, John Wick, Shazam. All these films, other biggish name films, have come out before. Realistically, the next big film after Mario. Ooh, what was the next big film after Mario?
Indiana Jones, isn't it?
No, I mean like in terms of like.
Oh, that's already out.
Is it Guardians? I think that was one before. I swear I saw something after Mario in cinema. Evil Dead, but that's not a massive film, and that alienates half its like viewership because it's an 18. So, off the top of my noggin, the biggest film that would draw people in would have been Guardians. So, like, it had such a long run of being in cinema before Guardians came out. So, if I get my calendar up here, obviously Mario came out. It was around
March, wasn't it? March 15th. So.
No, it was in the start of April.
Was it?
Yeah, start of April.
Then what I was thinking.
Mario film came out exactly April 5th in the United States, and I think it was about that over here as well. As I say, the only way I can figure out what films came out after that is literally go on my emails and find out my cinema tickets, because it'll be on there, wouldn't it? It'll be on there what came out afterwards. Cinema. Right, okay, so it didn't do very well, so not okay. Yeah, so realistically, so obviously Super Mario came out. The next sort of film that came out after that was Renfield and Evil Dead. Both, obviously, Evil Dead did a reasonable amount. Obviously, especially for like its budget, it did pretty good. It's like the highest grossing Evil Dead movie, I think. But obviously, because it's budget. Then Renfield came out and was a flop, but it was a decent film. How much did they actually make in the end? I'm curious. Oh, that's a massive bomb. Apparently, Renfield, against a $65 million budget, only made $24.6 million.
But
that's a big fucking flop, isn't it, really? I don't think it was that bad. I think it probably might do better on home media. I think that's where people might tune in on it. I don't think it was that bad, but yeah. So technically, Guardians was the next big movie following Mario. So if Mario came out the 5th of April, which was a Wednesday, yeah, because I saw it on this Friday because it was Good Friday. So 5th of April, 1, 2, 3. It had 4 weeks in cinema before Guardians came out. Guardians also came out weirdly on a Wednesday. There's a lot of films coming out on Wednesdays this year. Bit weird. I mean, Flash comes out on a Wednesday. That's a bit weird.
Everything's on a Wednesday.
I think Transformers is one of the only ones that's not on a Wednesday. It's on a Thursday. But yeah, it had a good month in cinema before anything came out that could challenge it. So that's especially at the point when it came out. It came at the point of, especially over here. Obviously, kids are off school. They're able to watch it. I mean, as I said to you when I went to watch it, me and Hayden were literally the only people in there that did have kids in there. It was literally full of kids. And every time you went after that, literally there's that many kids still going, and you're like, okay, I'm guessing they're going to watch Mario. It's very blatant where they're going. So it had that long time of being able to draw in the money. Whereas, as I say, a lot of these ones coming out soon, it's literally a film right after it that actually people are interested in and can go and watch. Let's say, because Mario being a kids' film, the next film that came out was Renfield, which was a 15. Again, alienates anyone below the age of 15. Then Evil Dead came out. Again, alienates anyone below the age of 18. So then the next was Guardians, which technically doesn't alienate everyone. It just means, obviously, if you're under 12, you have to have a kid, an adult with you. So it doesn't alienate everyone. Whereas all these films did. But I say, when The Flash comes out, so you packaged around Transformers, which will be a 12A. So again, anyone can really go. Spider-Man still be in its run. Again, that's probably less than a 12A. I think the last one was a PG. Obviously, Indiana Jones comes out to be a 12A. It's packaged around things that everyone can still access. So I feel it's going to be. I think Mario chose the perfect fucking release date. It was the perfect fucking time for it to come out. But it's just a case of just waiting and seeing really if anyone can knock it off. Because I mean, as I say, no one really thought anything would knock Top Gun Maverick off fucking top spot last year. And then Avatar 2 was like, hold my glass of water.
Avatar 2, I feel like everyone knew that was going to be massive though. No matter when it released, it's going to be huge.
Yeah. What else have I got here? I'm going to go back up. Obviously, I'll stick with the... Obviously, because obviously I mentioned Little Mermaid coming out. Where was it? Obviously... Why is my... I don't know why it's in that. My notes are correcting my... So obviously I wrote sort of exactly sort of what I want to say. And for some reason my notes have spell checks your name. Instead of saying Connie, it says Connie.
Oh, that's nice.
That's your new name, Connie.
It's close enough.
But yeah, obviously I mentioned to you over the weekend the fact that obviously Indiana Jones premiered at a film festival. I think it was the Cannes Film Festival, and came out to very mediocre reviews. And obviously I was on about to you the fact that I've got a feeling it's going to be a Crystal Skull, but vice versa. Because obviously Crystal Skull was big critical, bad audience, whereas this has been bad critical. I've got a feeling this is going to be big audience. For example, Star Wars, Last Jedi came out, big critical, really bad audience. Whereas Rise of Skywalker came out, was bad critical, really good audience. So I've got a feeling this is going to be the exact same with Indiana Jones. It's going to be the swap over. Because this is really a long-awaited film, really. So when was the last one? 2008, was it? Something stupid like that?
It's a while back.
So at the moment, from 38 reviews, it stands at 50%, which, as I say, is mediocre. But then moving on to Little Mermaid, which is obviously a long-awaited live-action adaptation, it's actually come out to pretty decent reviews at the moment. Currently, it sits at 73% critically. For I didn't write how many people. It's 100 and something reviews, which isn't bad really. It's not, oh my god, this movie's amazing. It's more like, oh, it's actually a pretty decent movie. It doesn't suck. So,
it's just a Disney movie.
Yeah, that's not too bad. To be fair, a lot of Disney live action remakes tend to get quite negative response. So that's a decent response, but it is critics, and sometimes critics do talk out their asses. So it is the case of, I'll find out myself once this podcast has been released, because obviously I forgot the other day it comes out this week, and I was like, shit, I've got to go and watch that, haven't I, with Hayden? I've got to make up for the fact that I've got to make up for the fact that I dragged her to Fast X, because she was bored out of her mind watching that film. So I've got to make up for it by taking her to watch a film she wants to watch. Little Mermaid.
Yeah, but secretly you want to watch it.
Shush, shush, shush. Shut that beautiful, gorgeous mouth of yours. Connie.
Hey. It's not Connie. Okay, it is.
That's my new turn-on name for you. I'm just going to keep calling you Connie.
That was my nickname for years anyway, Connie.
Oh, was it?
Brother-in-law, Connie. Not sure, fuck off.
So I've brought back memories.
You brought it back. Repressed memories.
Okay, then let's do a sit down. I'll be a psychiatrist. I'm sitting on my couch. You're lying down. So how are you feeling now that I brought back the name Connie? They're in the trees. They're in the trees. Who are in the trees? The people calling me Connie. Why are they in the trees? They're all hiding above you in trees. Connie.
The little gibbons.
Isn't Connie the name of the guy from Attack on Titan? The bald character.
Is it Connie? It's something like that.
That's what I thought of when I saw the name Connie. I'm pretty certain it's the guy from Attack on Titan, the bald one. So I was watching the first episode of Series 4 Part 2 again recently.
Yeah, it is Connie, yeah.
He's one that has the line of dialogue like, in the future I want to have kids. I don't want to basically let this rumbling destroy the opportunity of me in the future. I thought it was. So yeah, what else have I got?
His mom on top of the
house. Obviously, oh yeah, she was the yeah, I remember.
The Titan.
Yeah, obviously I got some sad news. Here.
Oh, there we go.
Obviously, when was it? Was it Tuesday? Monday night, Tuesday, I think it was. Yes, it was. I think. Was it? It was early this week. I can't remember the exact day. I can't remember the exact day already. I think it might have been Tuesday already. Obviously, actor Ray Stevenson passed away. At the age of 58. He's known for being in the 4 franchise. He's known for being in Punisher Warzone. The Other Guys. And the upcoming Ahsoka series. Among many other things.
I cannot recognise him by his face at all.
Have you watched The Other Guys, haven't you?
Yes.
You know the one that kept stealing Will Ferrell's gun? The Australian guy, the bodyguard.
Searching. Hang on.
Is the Australian guy who kept stealing the bodyguard? He's not actually Australian.
Yeah, okay. I do recognise him in from the other guys. I can't recognise picture of him recently. He looks totally different.
You might recognise him from the 4 movies as well, because he was in all first 3 movies. They killed him off in Ragnarok. He was the fat guy with the beard.
I would never recognised him. He looks nothing like he does in real life in the beard.
Yeah, he passed away at the age of 58.
Oh, bloody hell. Marv.
It doesn't say. They haven't said yet, but I'm guessing it's got to be something for the fact that, especially at the age of 58. I mean, look at Lance Reddick. Obviously, it was eventually released how he passed away at such a younger age. So I reckon, obviously, it's got to be something.
It's his birthday tomorrow as well.
Yeah, no, that's what I read. It literally was like only a few days shy of his birthday. He passed away. So obviously, he would have been 59, which is sad. Very sad news. So I'm looking forward to him in the Ahsoka series as well, because he's playing like a Sith, like an orange lightsaber.
So he's going to be like Star Wars role. Was his final role?
Yeah, he's like one of the main characters in it. He even gets a hallway fight scene in there. You know, the classic sort of Star Wars, like when they're in like the ships and all the fucking the rebels and all that there with the guns and all that. And obviously, someone just comes through and just annihilates them. Usually, Darth Vader. He gets one of those scenes in the trailer. I was like, that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's pretty sad news. I thought it was pretty sad. What else have I got? Some more like movie and TV news. Netflix released the teaser trailer for their upcoming King Kong anime series they're doing, titled Skull Island. There's an anime of that coming out next month, I think it is. Or is it July? It was June or July, I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, they don't show Kong till like the very end. It focuses on more other monsters first, and then right after the title comes up, you see Kong roaring. So it'll be interesting to see that. There's a lot of like references very clearly in like the slow mo to the Kong Skull Island movie, because there's a scene in the start of this teaser where like this octopus creature destroys like a helicopter, and you see like the bits of the helicopter fly past people, and there's like really slow motion with a certain beating of like an instrument. And I was like, that's literally like enough the same sort of like idea from Kong Skull Island, where Sam Jackson is doing the same thing, just standing there as like Kong's just destroying stuff in front of him. I was like, it's basically just utilizing a lot from that, which makes sense. It was a really popular adaptation. What else have I got? Obviously, the other week, and I know I brought it up to you, the Mortal Kombat 2, the movie. They were in final talks to hire Carl Urban as Johnny Cage.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, they may have found an actress to play Jade now, because actress Tati Gabrielle is in final talks. Apparently, she's most known recently for being one of the main antagonists in the new Uncharted adaptation.
Oh yeah, I do know.
As well as one of the main characters in the Netflix Sabrina series. So she's apparently in talks to play Jade. What else we got? The Walking Dead spin-off Daryl Dixon has started its production in France. The first one that's like going far away from America and actually taking you elsewhere, like overseas, which is interesting because so far all the Walking Dead shows have been set pretty much in America or around the America region, but this is the first time it's going to Europe, which, you know, sounds pretty decent on paper. What else have I got before I let you do yours? Oh, do you remember? I'm going back last year. Do you remember last year when obviously Warner Brothers basically were scrapping films that had already been made?
Oh yeah, like was it Catwoman or
Batgirl.
Batwoman? Sorry, yeah,
Batgirl.
Batgirl.
So do you remember they did that? Obviously, that it was already pretty much made. I think they only had a little bit left to do, and basically Warner Brothers scrapped it for tax reasons.
Yeah.
And obviously they did another one. They did the Scooby Doo Haunted Holiday, which is going to be a prequel to that Scoob movie that came out. It's the really shit looking Scoob film. Look, obviously they did a prequel to that. Again, already made. Everything was ready to go, and they scrapped it for tax reasons. I found out there was obviously a couple more things that were scrapped. A couple more Scooby Doo projects. So apparently there was going to be one called Scooby Doo and I think it was a Haunted High Rise, which is going to basically reintroduce the Hex Girls. It was going to reintroduce them, and apparently they did the voice acting for it, and they recorded new songs for it. But obviously Warner Bros. Scrapped it. There's also like a lot of these like companies that do like their franchise, but they do like really kiddie versions, like the like toddlers and stuff like that. Like things like Muppets Babies and stuff like things like that, which for a really young generation. Apparently, there was going to be a Scooby one of that, obviously when he's a puppy, for a young generation. I don't think they did anything on that really. I didn't see anything on the internet about them doing much on it. But again, scrapped. But then there's this one. I only found out this one. So obviously, I'm a big Scooby Doo fan. I've literally got all the direct-to-DVD movies. So far this year, there hasn't been a single one. They haven't released a single one. There's been no mention of one whatsoever. And I got bored the other day and I was Googling it to see if there was it. Like that's how I found like the last couple. I just found it on like Wikipedia, it's like the next entry and whatnot. And I scrolled down and there's a bit that says cancelled projects. And obviously those two I just mentioned are on there. And there's a third one, that was a direct-to-DVD one, called Scooby-Doo and Crypto 2. Apparently, basically Scooby-Doo teamed up with Crypto the Superdog. But get this, obviously this one, again, fully made. It was literally just needs to be released on DVD. And they scrapped it. But this year, someone only fucking leaked the entire movie online.
Oh, people leak it?
Someone literally leaked the entire film online. And I was reading a lot of a lot of stuff on the internet. And people are saying it's actually a decent film. Like apparently I was reading into it. I saw it. I was like, oh, that would have been a good film. And I was reading into it. It's like it got leaked online. I was like, what? And I was like fully reading into like these details on it. And I was like, oh shit, that sounded like really cool. Let's say I was reading like little bits and bobs about it, and obviously watching a lot of like other videos on YouTube talking about it. I was like, why the fuck are they scrapping these stuff? Like, I understand with these other ones because they're expensive and they can write them off for tax reasons for straight to stream. But this Scooby Doo movie was a straight to DVD title. Like all Scooby Doo movies are pretty much straight to DVD, apart from obviously the ones they aim for cinema, i.e. the Scoob one, and they aimed it for cinema. But most of them are straight to DVD. So I was like, why the fuck did they scrap this one? It's literally all you gotta do is slap it on a DVD and go, there you go, love. But yeah, I read that and I read the fact they got cancelled. It just made me laugh. It made me laugh that it got leaked. I was like, it's based like a middle finger to Warner Brothers. And I was like, that's quite funny to be fair.
I suppose all of them haven't been leaked yet. Everything they cancelled, just leak them all.
I know the Batgirl one, like, it wouldn't be able to because I know the people who made it, they went to try and get a copy of it and basically Warner Brothers like wiped it from the servers. Like everything they did, they just deleted it apparently. Apparently they were gonna like just finish it for like just because why not, and slash like get some photos of it just to show it off like what they did. And apparently when they went to do it and like it was like completely wiped from the servers. But yeah. What's your other news anyway before I I go on my last bit of news.
It's been rumored that I don't know if it's like a PlayStation showcase or like there's some game showcase, but Metal Gear Solid 3 is going to get remastered, and it's coming to PC, Xbox, and PlayStation.
Wait,
that's the rumors.
Are they skip Metal Gear? Oh wait, no. Sorry, I'm thinking of
1
Gears
and
of
2
War.
are remastered.
That's what I mean. I was sorry, I was thinking Gears of War. I was like, are they skip like 2 and jump straight to 3? No, Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, okay. So
well, apparently there's going to be a collection of 1 and 2 as well, but I don't know if they're going to be remastered. So basically,
they're
or not.
approaching it as they did with Resident Evil, skipping early ones and just jumping in a point.
The number 3 is like probably the most popular one, I guess.
So again, so they're not like the Resident Evil. They basically jump straight to 2 and adapt the more popular adaptations.
Well, that's if the rumors are true. Anyway, it might not be true at all. But
well, when's this
that's
showcase?
Kind of what it is.
When's this showcase supposed to be?
PlayStation showcase. Is it today?
There's a showcase tonight, which apparently, which is speculation that Spider-Man 2 might get a bit more info. That's the last bit of news I had was literally that showcase. Because apparently Spider-Man 2. Fingers crossed, might be getting some more details. Yes, there's one 9 o'clock tonight, but there's also a summer gaming thing in June, I think it is, where they're going to reveal loads of like random loads of titles apparently. Because I
feel like Mortal Kombat, the new one's going to get some reveals at the PlayStation Festival as well. Because
I know the voice actors for Spider-Man and MJ in the Spider-Man games, they're like hosting it.
Oh yeah.
I definitely saw the showcase thing because that's why I saw about Spider-Man 2, but I didn't see anything about Metal Gear Solid.
That's the rumours anyway.
That's what I mean. All this is just rumours and speculation, but we'll find out once this podcast goes out if it actually happened or not. But we shall see. I'm trying to think of anything else that I could think of because I've pretty much very quickly gone through all my fucking news.
I don't think I can even find anything. It's only little bits here and there.
I've actually gone through all my news. What else have I got? Ooh, trying to think. Then you're just trying to think and you're just like, I could eat this K-Life for fun. Done it in one.
Have you seen that game coming out called Power World?
No.
And it's like a Pokemon rip-off kind of, but you got like guns.
I've not seen this, no.
And like shooting people, and you can make them like work in like factories and stuff, and like it looks insane.
Oh, there we go.
Like down it in one.
Down it in
That'll
one.
be a sign off to the video. Wait. Did it outro?
Oh, is that gonna be a sign off? Okay, I'll put it down for a second then.
The outro and then neck it.
I saw something else I wanted to bring up before we stopped. Oh yeah, your birthday. You're an old man.
Yeah, coming up very soon. I'm not old. You're older than me.
Shush that beautiful mouth, Connie.
60-year-old woman.
Shush that beautiful mouth of yours, Connie.
No.
But yeah, obviously your birthday is this weekend. So if we don't do that live stream because you're too hungover, this is us wishing you a happy birthday.
Thank you.
But yes, obviously that is it for Chatco Podcast. If we missed any recent news that you wanted to, that you think we could have brought up, put in the comments below, and maybe we'll bring it up next time and do a bit of talking about it. Obviously, you can check out the podcast on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, which I'm pretty certain you can do with iTunes as well. Basically, most of your podcasting platforms, you will find this podcast on. But yeah, we hope you enjoyed our little discussion on recent news and our opinions on some of this recent news. And yeah,
don't you normally have something to dip into it? That looks like it'd be disgusting altogether. Follow it. For fuck's sake.
Fuck!
I've got all of your keyboard now.
I have, yes. I got to check my keyboard. Yes, we hope you enjoyed it. We shall hopefully see you next time. Oh, God. I need a drink.
For fuck's sake.